Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all of the books that I read in February, and I think I got to like 6, which is pretty good considering I've had literally so much to do this month. It's been kind of crazy, honestly. I love college. It's actually been a really good reading month. Like, this is literally unheard of for me because every single book I gave a 5-star rating. We're just gonna get into the 6 books that I read this month, and obviously I'm very excited to talk to you about all of them because I loved all of them. So the first book that I read in February and gave it 5 stars is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. This book was so good. Like, I expected to really like it, but I didn't expect to love it this much. It's an enemies to lovers. She is like a spy for her kingdom going into his kingdom because they got married, and she's gonna like kill him or whatever. I loved our main character, Laura. She was such a badass, but also like she did have weaknesses that she did allow Aaron to see, and I just thought it was so good. The writing was amazing. There is a second book in this series called The Traitor Queen, which I already own and I am probably going to be reading maybe in March, although I don't know, because whenever I say I'm gonna read a book next, I never do. Personally, I'm always on the lookout for a good enemies to lovers recommendation, so I think every time I've like googled it, it's like fantasy romance, enemies to lovers, you know, that kind of vibe, this book would pop up. So I'm glad I finally decided to pick it up, and I just thought it was so good. So if you need a good enemies to lovers rec, here you go. Next up, I read something on the very opposite end of the spectrum, and I loved it so much, and that is Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. I don't even think I've seen the Winnie the Pooh movies, but I've been on the ride that they have at like Disney, and I always thought it was cute. Looking through the library casually one day, and I saw this, and it didn't even like register in my head that this was a book I could read, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to read it. Like, I absolutely have to read it. It was so wholesome, honestly. Like, I couldn't not give it a 5 stars. It's got illustrations throughout it. Let me find a couple of good ones because I love this illustration style so much. It's very like sketchy and not perfect, which I love so much. Some more. It was just so cute. Every chapter is like a different little adventure that Winnie the Pooh was going on, and the whole concept is like, this is Christopher Robin's father telling these stories to Christopher Robin about Christopher Robin's stuffed bear, who he named Winnie the Pooh. All takes place in the 100-acre woods. I just loved it. It was so cute, so I'm so glad I decided to pick it up. Just such a nice, relaxing read, honestly. Next up, we're going back to the realm of fantasy romance because I read A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I loved this book so much. It is not my favorite of the ACOTAR books. That title still belongs to A Court of Mist and Fury, but this one is definitely a close second. Going into this book, I wasn't like a huge fan of Nesta. I didn't hate her, I just didn't really have many feelings on her because you do kind of see her for the rest of the series through Favor's point of view, so finally getting, you know, to see inside her head and see what's going on and see what has happened to her that has made her this kind of person was just so fascinating, and I just loved the personal journey that went on in the story. Honestly, if you're looking for a book with like good action-packed plot, do not read this. That's not the point. Not a lot happens. The plot's kind of non-existent, but I wasn't really mad about that fact. I just really enjoyed the focus on Nesta and the connection she was making with the people around her, and it was just so nice. The female friendships in this book were amazing, and the little bit of plot that was there I did enjoy. So it was just so good. Definitely one of my favorite books of the year. I loved it. Like, I didn't think I was not gonna like it, but I didn't think I was gonna love it this much, because after reading the last couple books in the ACOTAR series, I was skeptical. I know a lot of people think this book is boring, which is a very fair complaint. Like, if you don't like the ACOTAR books, don't read this book, but if you do love the characters and you just love Sarah J. Maas's writing, I would 100% recommend you read this book if you haven't already. You probably have, because I'm late to the trend, but I'm late to like every trend, so nobody's surprised. Alright, so these last 3 books that I have to talk to you about, I'm actually very excited because I have already, you know, consumed this story like a couple of times, but then somebody on Instagram, I think your name is Jacqueline, so if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm so sorry, but she reminded me that these books existed and that I should read them. And I was like, that is a great idea. So I was just walking around the library one day and I found the first one and I read it and I was like, damn it, now I gotta go find the others. So I think these are from like 3 different libraries. I went on a little bit of a wild goose chase for these, but I'm so glad that I found all 3 of them and was able to read all 3 of them because I loved them so much. Like, just the addition of a visual to this story that I already love so much was so good. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like them or not. The art style is different from what I usually read, but I ended up really enjoying it, and I think the art style is very cool. I'm a big fan of how the insides of these look. Yeah, they were really good. I gave all of them a 5 out of 5 stars. Obviously, there's honestly no way I wasn't gonna give these a 5 out of 5 stars. I mean, come on. We all know how I feel about the Infernal Devices. The only qualm that I do like kind of have is that the first couple of pages are in color, but then it goes to, like, look at that, it's so pretty. But then it goes back to being like black and white, which I get it would be more expensive to produce these books if they were completely in color, but it would have been really cool if they were in color. But anyway, I just really enjoyed these books and I'm super glad that I read them. And honestly, these kind of hurt me in the exact same way that the normal books did, which I was kind of surprised by because it does have, you know, less of the story in it because it is just a graphic novel manga version of it. And I was really sad when I finished Clockwork Princess still because I've only read the book once. This is not Clockwork Princess. I've only read the book once and I have put off reading it again, even though I've read the other 2 books like 3 times because that book hurts me, honestly. It just makes me so sad. And I was like, it's a graphic novel. How much can it possibly hurt me? I was very sad when I finished this book. So these are all of the books that I read in February. I loved all of them so much. I'm so excited that I've finally had a month where I give every single book 5 stars. Like, I literally just believe that all of these deserved 5 stars. They were all so good. So that I'm really jazzed about that. And I'm very excited to get into my reading for March. It's probably not gonna be too great because I have so many exams coming up, but it's fine. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm glad that I got to talk about all of my 5-star reads with you. Please let me know what you have read in February, be it your favorite book, or if you're feeling shady, let me know your least favorite book. And I will see you all in my next video.